Okay, let's get some feedback going. As soon as I hear it, I'll turn it off. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the title a little bit. Can I change it? So I want to change it to Hackintosh. Yeah. There we go. That's off. And boy, that dog is gonna bark. And bark and bark and bark. If it gets too bad, I will put him in his timeout box. I gotta move my little panel over because I can't see what I'm doing today because I just packed up my monitor to send to a friend who needs a monitor right now. So my auxiliary monitor is gone. So now all I can see are the outlines of a Josh behind a big fat HDMI cable. Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for another Monday stream on a Tuesday, because yesterday I didn't actually get to do any streaming, and today is going to be fun for more than one reason. I am going to be taking apart a S4 Mini Classic. It's been a very long time since I have messed with one of these, and this is actually one of the first ones. I don't know what number it is.
57.
57. It's interesting to me because it has one of the first powder coats that I did. And, yeah. And joining me on stream today is my dad, Tim.
Hey, gang.
Tim?
Yep.
Tim? But he's dad. You don't call him... You can call him dad. You want to call him dad?
This is my son here, with whom I am well pleased.
He's the guy that got me into computers. I've been building computers and playing with them since I was 2 years old. Because you were into them. And now I'm into them, but different areas.
They were considerably bigger back then.
Did we ever have a compact?
No, we did not. They were too expensive. That's why the first computers you play with, besides the Macintoshes, were the home-built type, because it's all I could afford to do. And I was trying to remember back, the last thing I built was probably a 386 or a 486, because before we got on camera, we were talking about it a little bit, because I remember waiting for the Sound Blaster 2 card to come out. Do they still have creative Sound Blasters?
Yeah, they do.
Well,
they do.
They're
the only ones left.
They date from the mid-1980s, but about 1990, 91, they finally came out with a 16-bit Sound Blaster, and I couldn't wait for that to come out because it was supposed to come with all these games, and it came with what ended up being my favorite game, Monkey Island. Yeah. And it came on a CD. It had beautiful Monkey Island music that you can't get anywhere else now. The quality was out of this room. But the other thing they came with, I think that also had an ATI graphics card, a VGA Wonder or something like that. And it was supposed to come with Macromedia Authorware. And I was so excited because that was like a 500-hour program and I couldn't afford it. And we got it because I, at that time, was programming educational software and HyperCard for you kids. And that was going to be a huge step up. But I think I could make a 16-second presentation. And I got a little warning. If for $495,
so it was
you could go on.
The $5 coupon. It was a $5 coupon.
So that's before we knew that all the software that comes with video cards and graphics cards, sound cards, all that kind of stuff is just demoware. Yeah. That was early on, gang. We didn't know that.
For the most part. But like you said, you also had like special versions of games. And that was kind of fun, like the Monkey Island with the CD, the audio.
Yeah.
And then other games we'd buy later on would have different actual stuff in it, like new textures or something when you would buy something like that.
And it would be just MIDI-ware kind of music instead of that wonderful composed music. Yeah.
And installing those old sound cards, too. I remember trying to do that to get Battle Chest to work on one of those computers. You had to go into DOS and ask you 40,000 questions, none of which you knew the answer to. But it's still not much better. Still not much better.
Well, okay. Josh was trying to talk me into taking this apart and putting that thing in there, but I'm an old guy with bad eyes, and that's what I got you for, son.
Yeah, and I'm a young guy with bad eyes, so It all works out. Now, I had my beautiful screwdriver that I treated myself to, and we used it when we were ripping out the electrical work the other day, and now I don't know where it went to. It's in the shop somewhere, buried underneath a pile of stuff. So I'm going to have to kind of use the wrong screwdriver, which I hate doing more than many things. Well, I want to say hello to people on the stream. Hello, Techno. Hello, Lazy Geek Gamer. Hello, Tyler, Iden, and Bryden, Mo2Mo1Mo, and Sam Masters. Thank you for the super chat. I'm probably going to have to get, I'm going to have to get the right screwdriver because we will end up destroying this paint job because that one is not very tough. That was before I learned what I was doing. Keep them entertained.
All right, well, while he's out, I'll let you know that I nicked up this beautiful paint job in several places, and I used a little magic marker to cover it black where the silver was showing through. But don't tell Joshua in your stream. This computer, as it's now configured, is a second generation i7 with a couple of SSDs in it and an ADM graphics card. And it runs beautifully. We're not upgrading it for better performance. The main things I want is I wanted to get rid of the brick, which has always fallen off the back of my table. And I wanted to do a hackintosh. I just recently sold my Mac Pro. I had the wastebasket type Mac Pro. And before it dropped in value too awful much with the introduction of another Mac Pro later this year or early next year, I wanted to get rid of it. So I offloaded that just about a month ago. And so right now I don't have a desktop Mac. So I'm hoping that we can get the right parts in here so that I can do a Hackintosh as well as an IBM. I say IBM, that shows my generation.
Luckily, we do have some people that watch this channel, the show, and are in my Discord that are Hackintosh experts. So, because we're not, as you're looking and seeing what hardware we have, do me a favor and speed all this up by maybe sending me an email at josh@nfc-systems.com about what kind of KEKS, whatever that we might need to get this going. The tricky thing, I think, again, is going to be the Thunderbolt, possibly.
Yeah.
Because last year when I was doing these, we didn't actually do any Thunderbolt builds. So I'm going to open this up. I would give you the honors, but this is one of the first powder coat minis I did, which I had to do a lot of replacements for, guys. That was one of the big dramas that I had getting to manufacturing, because I spent tons of money training the people that manufacture this how to powder coat. You know, I would send them the actual powder that I had, explain about the prep and everything, and we actually went over there and taught them. And then it turned out that when it came game time, they just basically sprayed dirty panels. So you had a lot of chipping and flaking, which was not good. So I ended up having to reclaim and repaint a lot of the original S4 Mini Classics. But overall, it was good because I got to take the Classic back here locally to have powder coated myself. And we did all sorts of really cool, interesting colors. So it was not bad. By the way, if somebody... let's clear out this one. You can clear that out and put that somewhere. And then you can put the screws from this project in there.
Okay.
What was I saying? Something about... Oh, I have the panel, the cover panel, not the wraparound one, but the cover panel for the S4 Mini Classic still in my garage if you guys want to do some modding with yours. I will show you the Discord after the show is done for sure. In the description, just check it. Just remind me towards the end of the stream. Okay, so what did we do here? What are these drives?
All right, so we have a Evo 850 with the Windows 10 on it. And this is normally my play drive. So I'll have one operating system after another on it. Right now, I've cleared it as a scratch disk. I just did a recent video, so I was using it as my scratch disk on there. So that's clear off now. And I have a complete backup of this one here. So we're good to go if we mess it up on there. And
when we mess it up. When I mess it up.
When you mess it up?
When I mess it up.
Well, I prefer not to.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to just going and spending about an hour on the phone with Microsoft saying, no, this really is the same computer.
Yeah. How much I spend talking to them, they still don't recognize me. It's kind of sad. All right, so...
Well, they're not the guys from Microsoft I talk to. I talk to the accessibility team all the time. They can't help me out.
Yeah, my dad's a consultant, or we used to be a consultant for Microsoft and Google and Apple, helping them write software that blind people could use. Because that's been his passion and his work for the past 30, 40 years.
Long time.
Yeah.
The goal was to get Microsoft and Apple and Google and all the companies to build in accessibility software. It used to be you had to buy very expensive $1,000, $1,200 screen readers and magnifiers. And now, thanks be to God, all of them have it built in and it's pretty high quality. So that was the major focus of my career.
Which is good because when I go blind, you can teach me how to play World of Warcraft or something. We're gonna start at the top. We're not gonna play solitaire first, and then we'll work our way into CAD.
CAD is a problem. I have low vision people who want to do CAD.
I've actually forgotten how to take this apart. I think
in next week's episode.
Well, I'll just start by... I'll stall for time by removing all these cables. This one has a clip. This one has a clip. So I gotta get my teeny tiny clip removing flathead. Alright, this one's gone, and we can throw that in the trash. I don't reuse SATA cables. Though I might reuse this cool one from Dell. This is a cool little teeny tiny one. Might break a rule for that. If I can even get it out of unplugged.
What are you going to do with this motherboard?
I'm going to give it to a friend that needs a computer right now real bad.
Well,
that's cool with
would
you.
they want the SATA cable?
No, I have SATA cables for days.
Okay.
For days. If the world ends and we need SATA cables, I got you covered. But only right angle ones because I use the flat ones. So just have a box of right angle SATA cables.
Maybe some of your friends out there can answer a question for me in the response. One of the other reasons I wanted to upgrade is I do use this computer for financial, issues. And it's got a second generation chip in here, Intel chip in here. What is it, a 2600?
Sandy Bridge?
Yeah, I think it is a 2600 Sandy Bridge i7. And my understanding is that that's not covered for Spectre. And so I'm a little bit worried about security issues when I'm doing my banking and stock work and so forth.
My viewers are telling me how to take apart my computer case because I've forgotten. But as Mo2Mo1Mo says, you've got to remove the drive first by sliding it over the motherboard, right? Mm. Yeah. Then the SSD brackets, and the GPU, then the motherboard. Yep, that sounds about right. Thank you. Yeah. Tuck that Pico in there.
How many years have I had this then?
I don't know, but you had another computer case before this.
I had a S3 before this.
Oh yeah, he had an S3 Mini. What happened to that Mini?
I gave it back to you, and you sold it.
Probably.
I'm gonna bet you because I don't remember selling it.
What color was it?
Wait a minute. You get the commission.
Oh, you had the S3 Elite. That's right. Yeah, no, I kind of cheated you out of that one.
Story of our relationship.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, look at it this way. You were funding my my business.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you're doing this for free, right? You're right.
We'll talk about that. I love building computers for people that need computers built, but Hackintoshes, not a fan. So I'm hoping that we're gonna get
Well, it's only got to work for like 6 months until the next
until it breaks.
The next Pro comes out. But right now, I'm not gonna, like I say, I'm a little bit worried about the value of the Wastebasket Pro falling like a rock this summer.
Yeah, and you tricked yours out. Yeah. You got the OCW drives.
Yeah.
Do you mind holding that for me?
Which?
Yeah, just hold that plug and just. Okay. Yeah.
But that thing was a poorly designed unit. Lots of power, though. It was a whiz at Final Cut.
Throw these out. I bought these. I can tell what happened here. This was from the S3 Elite. He was one of the few owners of an S3 Elite. And these are titanium, which I thought was really cool. Like, oh, titanium. But the problem with titanium is that it's not magnetic at all. So it was very difficult to work with. And I got them in flat. Throw those away.
Throw those away?
Yeah, they're like $1 a piece, but...
You sure?
they're too much of a pain to use. I was fixing my shop with the electrical, and she was telling me that he was the foreman, and he was trying to tell his boss that they're going to spend a lot more money on thicker conduit or something. And his boss was like, "You're killing me. You know what's it going to cost me?" He's like, "Labor or parts?" And that's kind of stuck with me past couple days. Labor or parts, because it's so true. Sometimes it's good to spend more money up front on the parts so you don't have to spend so much time putting it together. I see an Uncle Gamer. Hey Ed, how you doing, man? I'm sorry to say that the card we're putting in is not a Sapphire card today. It's MSI because it's super low profile, but we wanted to use that Sapphire ITX 570 because that would be awesome. But this is going to be a brickless build, and it's going to be as tiny and small as possible. But it's always good to see you, of course. And Pedro, good to see you, man. Pat and Bellis, good to see you, as usual. Sam Masters asks, what Wi-Fi card is going into Hackintosh, or does it not matter? Ooh, that's a good question. So I guess we're going to try to use whatever chip is on this ASRock. I do not know what it is. I'd have to take it apart to find out and see if it works. If not, then I have a bucket of older Wi-Fi cards that worked last year with the Hackintosh. But if you have any ideas, let me know. For the board, we're using the ASRock Fatality ITX Pro. It's a Z370. Is that right? Yeah, the Z370.
I think so,
yeah. Because I didn't get the Z390 because I didn't. I didn't. That's the reason. So people are asking me why.
What's the difference? 20 points?
I don't know. I was looking for ones that had Thunderbolt 3, and I was assuming that the Z390 has Thunderbolt 3, but this is the one that popped up, and Z390 came out so fast that I still associate this with being the top of the line board. But with the CPU we're using anyway, it doesn't really matter. So this I need to put in my drawer. For later, for the Pico. Now I have to remove the graphics card. Now I'm trying to tell people this every time I do a stream, that the screws that I use for all my cases, they're always going to be for a number 2 Phillips. And I know it sounds kind of like a boring thing. Well, who cares what screwdriver you use? It really does matter. It helps you take the screws out without causing damage to the screws or popping out and scratching something. So just use a number 2 screwdriver, please. Hey, Sirius, it is good to see you. And yes, Monkey Island will always hold up. Man, we go back and play it now pretty much
about all I ever play
every
games.
year. Yeah.
I play 1 through 4.
It was funny.
And every year in 4, I shoot myself. First time I did that, you must have been 8 years old.
We laughed for 10 minutes straight. I mean, like, literally. Mom thought we didn't know the house is on fire or something. But when I was a kid, we would play it like every year together, father and son. But I would remember every single puzzle and every single joke. So, I was like, Dad, come on, it's this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And he's like, I don't know. It's new to me every time. And I'm at that point now. Where if I play a video game over again, I remember nothing.
Also, you want to hear all the jokes. You don't want to just go whipping right through it.
All right, this is probably a 270?
I think so.
It's been a long time, but it doesn't have any markings on it. Hey, Uncle Gamer, which one's this? Which one is this one? Can you identify it? It's a Sapphire card. This is the bonus round. You gotta know this. You gotta know this when you work for Sapphire. You gotta know all their cards by their shrouds. But yeah, it's probably a 270. Or a 260. Probably a 260. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this is for the S3, that little notch. I was like, did the mini S4 have that problem? No, it was the S3. We'll put this over there somewhere.
Okay.
Now we have the SSD mount to slide over. And I
always do that. I'm glad to see the designer does that too.
Well, this is why one of the reasons that we redesigned the Mini to the new S4M, the Skyreach 4, which people are going to ask when it's going to come out. I should be getting a prototype very soon with the minor changes for it. And
I'm going to use those, right? Why do we need to take those off?
Oh, yeah, we're not putting it in case. We're using this case over again.
Yeah.
Oh, but we are going to take this one out because I see that this is an adapter drive. And I think that your new motherboard has two... not 2 slots? Or do only the new boards have 2? 1. Oh, man. Yeah, this only has 1. So.
Put that screw back in.
I'm putting that screw back in. I was looking for...
I was going to say, that's the only part of this entire computer, that and the case, that are staying the same.
Like I said about Monkey Island not remembering.
Yeah. My
goldfish memory.
I lost a couple of screws. I take those out a lot. I got different small SSDs with different versions of Linux on them, so I do.
You wanted me to put some more in there, or you want to keep it easy?
Easy's good.
Okay, I'm gonna put this one over here though, so it can be diagonal. Kitty corner. And now for the motherboard. This is a poorly wired Pico 160 XT that I had wired like 3 computers before you ended up with this one.
Wait, what? I got used parts?
Yeah, you got used parts because this was hard to find back then. This might even be one of the original prototype versions from Minibox. I would harass their engineers constantly saying, hey, look, that little Pico that you have, you've got to make it bigger. It's got to support a graphics card. And their engineers would always be like, why? Who wants to put a graphics card in a computer case this small? Like, well, I mean, I guess it was good for me in my business, but... Hey, Nori, thank you for the donation. A big donation of $5. He says, or she says, is Nori a boy or a girl? Does your dad know that you were talking to strangers?
Yes.
Or taking money from them?
Yes. I approve, particularly the second part of that.
As long as it's not... I do take candy from strangers. People from all around the world send me candy, and I eat it. Which...
I went grocery shopping today, and there's a little Easter egg in the bottom with a little candy in there saying, please go online and fill out this survey. And a little piece of candy wasn't worth it. It was good, though, but it wasn't worth it.
And he says that your son is an artist. Thank you for having him. Oh, that's really sweet.
Oh, we're proud of him. His mom and I kind of like him. The other 3 are okay, too.
Chris says, what is my favorite motherboard? It's a trick question. As far as what you can buy today, I'm trying to ease into the ASRock Z390 because I really love the I/O. But as you can see, I've been using the Asus Z390i a lot, which is a super durable board that's almost unkillable. I mean, the stuff I have done to it when I did that cooler review video. But the tricky part of the question is probably something from the Desk Mini GTX line. So that's their ASRock's Mini STX format, which is epic. And I'm really wanting to support them this year a lot because they might cancel the program because they're not selling so hot because they're really weird. But they're totally awesome. So I'm definitely going to be doing some mods this year with them, try to get people to know more about them. I might make some more cases with it that are really short run. But the Desk Mini GTX motherboards are really, really, really cool. I love them. So thank you, ASRock, for doing something
But I noticed mine has the word fatality on it, which seems kind of ominous for the success of our project here.
You might not know that. Did you know he was the world's best gamer for a while? Pro gamer?
I looked it up when you showed me a list of parts, but no, I did not know anything about it.
His name's Jonathan Windle, and I've told this story before, but my friends and I used to kind of, and I feel really, really bad saying this, but we used to kind of rag on him a little bit because you do like a video interview. Oh, that's...
That one does go out?
Oh, that one does come out, yeah. And he kind of came off...
Good, because it did.
a little bit jerky in the interviews, I suppose, but we were kids, so of course the first thing that we did to somebody random on the internet was kind of make fun of him, which I feel really, really bad about now. But anyway, years later, I went to a QuakeCon. I built a computer for Sapphire, and Sapphire gave me some VIP badges, and I got to meet Jonathan Windle just really casually, like at the VIP party. Just bumped into him. He was kind of by himself, and we talked for like 2 hours. That guy is the nicest, most humble human being I think I've ever met. And I learned a huge lesson that day. Like, I felt like garbage after, having made fun of him with my friends and stuff for coming off. But it goes to show you that you can't know somebody by 2 seconds of watching them on a video. You gotta really meet them in person. But that meeting right there, I think, did change something in my life for sure. But great.
So how long
guy.
have you known him?
Well, I haven't really known him after that. After that,
Okay.
he's a big celebrity. But I got to spend 2 hours at a bar with him, and really, really cool guy. Really, really, truly cool guy. So
Okay.
I'm proud that we bought a product from his lineup.
Okay, we gotta take the plate out for this, don't we?
Yeah, that one popped out. Nicely done. And not yesterday, but last Monday, we booted this up on the world's slowest hard drive. And it works. Okay. If you want to take my word for it. It's not going to work after we get Mac OS installed on it, but right now.
Okay.
So now we use those 632 screws that you took out for the motherboard. Ooh, we got to get the back plate. That's right. Toss that in the trash. Ooh, it's gray and black.
It's labeled for idiots like me.
Yeah, because the older ones were like red, and that doesn't match anything.
Come on, pop in.
Pedro says that ASRock has been improving, but the software sucks. And I agree with you. A lot of the motherboard software is pretty bad, though, so it's hard to say. They had some really good features that worked, though. Their internet UEFI updater worked really well. I mean, everybody has that now, but they were one of the first people to have it.
They have a CMOS clear or reset right there in the bottom corner when I'm reaching around.
Yeah. So I built a Oriel, that big build I built for Corey, that custom one.
Mm-hmm.
He's always mad because whenever he goes to turn the computer on, he hits that button, and that particular system has crazy overclocking settings, which he has to write down, and I used to go through all that because for some reason it doesn't save it after you clear. I don't know what that problem is on that board. That's the EVGA.
Well, I hope that button doesn't stick out through that hole very far so that I can reach back without hitting it.
You'll be
because
okay.
I also have some unusual setups to get a triple booting system going here.
Okay, so we're gonna put the SSD in here. This is where the Apple Macintosh. What happened to my neck? Here it is. Yeah, and ASRock has really great I/O. They're like the only ones that pay for Intel's Thunderbolt license right now. Is that? Or does Gigabyte still have a mini ITX board with Thunderbolt 3? Oh, this is a 1 terabyte Evo 970 Plus. The Plus
Overkill.
makes it sound cool.
It's at 1 terabyte because I could, not because I needed.
Well, I always say that people disagree with me, but I don't like going overkill on a lot of components, except drives, because that's the hard thing to update later. OS drives are hard to update. I think I put the an SSD screw in here. Yeah. That would have been hard to find in this box if it wasn't immediately on top.
I was telling Josh before we started, I was surprised to see there was a PS2 port on the back of this thing. I thought those were long outdated. They brought me back to my day, but apparently you're all, or quite a number of you are using that to get, is it lower latency on a keyboard, or why are you using a PS2? Are you just like the old keyboards with the clickety clack?
Yeah, no ghosting. They have fancier USB ones, but if you want the lowest latency, you gotta go.
If you don't want one of those old IBM keyboards, well, I guess some of those were PS2, but I thought they predated that.
Oh, and if you want to...
They were serial, weren't they? I think so.
They had a really weird plug with the little pin clips, and they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Like that big. If you want to have your mind blown, CRTs are back in. Because the gamers that play like the fighting games, the pro tournaments, they can actually register the individual frames on a modern monitor like that. So they actually will drag giant CRT TVs and stuff to tournaments.
We should go up in my attic and see what I got.
The Trinitron ones are the creme de la creme. They were the back then.
Yeah, they were very expensive.
I do have a fancy tool for that. I could use my fancy tool.
For doing what? Oh, for blowing it out?
I do have a fancy tool. Look at this thing I bought. Tear off. Owie! I didn't read the instructions and I hurt myself. I already blew it out. But I wanted to use it. Alright, the only tricky part, but it's been put in so many times that this goes over. This one's not over. Okay. And so now we screw them in.
Let's take that little button off. That little CMOS clear button.
Oops. It works when it's dead, so don't hit it now. That's a joke, Josh.
They had that there in case you mess the things up so badly, you gotta start from scratch. Is that what that's for?
Oh yeah, if you overclock wrong, it's very convenient to have it there in the back instead of having to open up your side of your case and press it. And people are agreeing that people like their old school CRTs and keyboards, and yeah, they say go overkill an SSD too. We agree on something. I'm the noob. That's what this show is interesting, is because they get to watch a noob put a computer together and be like, oh, no, stop. For a second, I thought I put the old motherboard back in there.
Yeah, the fan.
I was like, what did I do? Okay, I'm going to move that fan around to make it extra neat.
You're going to reorient it 90 degrees for the cord to come out a different direction.
Mm-hmm. Precisely.
And we got it. There you go.
Yeah,
He's good. I taught him how to use the screwdriver.
Taylor says that he used to drag his tournaments to SSBM tournaments. I have my first sponsored build I did for somebody was a pro Street Fighter player. So So I got to learn all about that. I went to Evo with him and his girlfriend, and it was something else watching. So where are the... Okay, so that's perfect. Here is the reset button. Power button is standard. Cool. Easy peasy. Perfect. Perfect spacing. Now, okay, so we're going to put the power supply down there. And we're going to use a compact Dynamo 160. Beefier, prettier than the old Pico. The Pico's great, but this will make it easy because we can put the power supply in here by plugging stuff in there.
So that's next, or what's next?
Yeah, I think that opening that up is next. I'll put that somewhere over there if you don't mind, sir. This is the power brick that made the Mini happen, I think. This is the Adaptec 192. Is it 192 watts? It's been a while.
It's my second one. Before that, I think I had the PlayStation or something like that.
Yeah, I modded an Xbox one for you.
Xbox.
But this is the first kind of high capacity power brick that was actually high capacity. Really durable, didn't get too hot, and I made this work. So without this power brick, I don't know if we would be where we're at. Because it was the only one. You'd think that there would be lots of options.
Good riddance.
Yeah, but the whole reason Dad's doing this, by the way, is because he wants a...
Yeah, because it keeps falling back behind. You know, I have it behind my monitor, and it goes, pump, and it falls on all my cables and takes them out of the cable mounts.
He has a standing desk. No, Jim, that's not how we do things at Not For Concentrate. We spill water on our components. We don't dunk them in water. Okay? Come on, we have some class. I'll look at your super chat, Tyler, but thank you in advance. And somebody says that, Legend says that Josh can do an S4 mini build while sleepwalking. That may be true.
But not mine.
But not Dad's. And not a classic. It's gonna be interesting. Tyler super chatted me. I gotta recognize that, so. Oh! Hi, Tyler. Thank you so much for your big old donation of the night. And Josh should take his dad for a drink on me. Okay, I will do that. Water sound good? We got tap.
After Holy Week.
Well, I appreciate that, Tyler. That's really kind of you. Thank you very much. That's poor little thing. Poor little thing.
That little thing's got enough power to drive that, huh?
When they don't blow up.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this is actually the new HDPlex 200 watt. It says 160 on it.
It lies.
But this is actually one of the 200 watt beta units that Larry so kindly provided me when I ordered the last of them before they went out of stock. And he just said, wait. Just wait. And so he stuffed them in these old boxes. So 160 should be enough for this system. 200 definitely. Definitely. Because this CPU is going to run probably about 80 watts all out. And then your graphics card can only pull 75 watts because that is what a PCI hub can provide.
Okay.
So you are good to go. I think those two numbers add up to under 200. You're good at math. I didn't get that.
Yeah, but what were the two numbers?
Yeah.
75 and what?
Oh, I forgot what I was going to
I hope it's going to be 125.
I need to make you a... Oh, wait. Indeed, I already have done this.
Yeah, that's not going to fit.
Uh-huh. I just have to make this again for the other project.
I need one of those little power plugs like they got in the back of HP printers, you know. Fit in there.
I actually have one made up. This is a GX16 that I have all wired up. So it's going to work hopefully good. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so here's the modification we need to make to a perfectly good classic. We are taking the 12mm aperture in the back, and we're going to make it into a 16mm aperture. And I'm going to go do that in the shop. So if you can entertain our guests while I do that real quick, because it will only take a second. Make sure that this is... I'm going to take out the motherboard, because metal shavings are not good when they go inside your slots. Already messed it up, guys. Already messed it up. Ooh, nice. I like working with you. You should come over here and do this for me all the time.
Maybe the guy who moves the
that
screws.
puts everything back in one place, because people
Okay.
I'll just pile over. All right.
I'm going to chat with your people, but to do that, I'm going to have to get closer to that monitor to read it.
Okay, speak up because the mic's over here and it's hypercardia.
I will shout from over here. Hey, gang. I really appreciate you supporting my kid here. He's a good kid, and he's a brilliant producer of computers. Well, he took the board out, Jim, so we're not going to face that challenge. For all you folks working with Joshua's case, or you're just interested in computer building and watching it for that, hi, Techno Echo. He's managed to take, Tyler, he's managed to take a lot of my money too. Probably more of mine than of yours. He is indeed. He's a Jim. He's a great personality, and what you see is what you get. He's that way on and off camera. Yeah, Joe, he is very good at PC building. He's good at a lot of technical skills. I don't know where he gets it from, because I'm not handy. My whole life was doing software. I know the other half of the business, but hardware is not my game. I used to put together computers out of necessity back in the 80s and early 90s, but nothing like he does. I am very proud of him, Aaron. I really am, of all four of our kids. He's the oldest, and he's the most handy, but his sister's quite the photographer and got a great business, and got one studying over in Taiwan. I got another here in town running restaurants, so they're all doing well. Thank the Lord. I think I hear him coming back already from the wrong direction.
It's a magic trick.
He went out one door and came back the other way. He went all the way around the world to come back.
It was faster. Bingo. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger now.
Yeah, it's bigger. And before I put that in again, I'm going to use my magic sauce, Novus 1, which is the greatest trick ever for restoring black electronics. Cameras, keyboards, mice, your mini. It's like Armor All, but it's not nearly as greasy or as glossy, which is kind of gross.
You have to watch it. I have to confess. Now your audience knows, because when you were out of the room the first time around, I confessed to the fact that I had a couple of nicks on this system, and I used a magic marker to cover them up. So don't rub too hard in certain places, like right there.
We gotta do a new powder coat, but this might be the last Mini ever that has this powder coat, because I think I fixed or replaced most of them.
But it wasn't my fault, see, because the whole system got pulled to the back when the power supply fell out of the back of my desk. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Okay. Alcohol for the...
I've literally had that happen where the thing went off the edge and the whole thing starts to back up. You have to reach out and grab it. That's why I don't want a CMOS switch on the back of it. Of course, I won't have that power.
Well, the power...
anymore.
Yeah, the power cable will still tether you as a thing, so when you put your standing desk up with your button, just make sure you have a long power cable. Beep, beep. All right.
Make sure you grab the right one. They both have the fan. I had to go all the way through this and find out I got the same motherboard processor.
Huh.
That would be a bummer. Oh, that system has done me very well for a long time.
Oh yeah, so that is the same TDP as this CPU, but this has double the gigahertz, don't it?
Yeah.
I think that was like a what, 2.5 when it turboed to 2.7, something like that.
Something, but it never caused any real bottlenecks for what I do.
Well, now synthetics are gonna scream.
If you're wondering why we're doing Hackintosh and all these others, as I still do support work for blind folks all over the country, and they'll call me up, and some of them are on Macintosh, and some of those are on Windows, and I get the odd guys on various kinds of Linux. That's why I have to be able to pop things in and out. So I'll call you back as soon as I get the SSD in.
Probably easier to troubleshoot if you actually have the system up in front of you.
And I find I can't put them all on virtual machines, what was my original plan, because the accessibility software, particularly low vision software, does not work well in a virtual machine. It all goes nuts on your screen, right in the middle of a support call.
This is pretty. Look, it's all black and dark for this black Mini. That's very nice looking indeed. Okay, so I have enlarged this aperture. Do I put them in the back? I don't think I've ever done this mod before. Because you have this big giant bezel. I thought that would be the easiest way to do it. I might have to...
That looks to me like it's going to work. How much of a catch does it need on that side? As long as you got it.
It's going to work. Or I thought it was going to work.
It should work. You should have enough of a catch there. And the cord plugs right in without needing to secure around that washer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you should be fine.
It's tight. It's very tight. This new CPU is the i3-8100, which is one of my favorite CPUs because it's good. It's fast. It's darn near as fast as an i7, but doesn't have some of the extra juicy features that I would need playing video games or doing CAD work. And so it's a great chip to purchase if you just want to play video games and you're on a budget. You could spend on a bigger graphics card or a nicer drive, because I think you're going to see more of a difference there.
Yeah, for me it's all in the drive, not in the video card, because when you're running the accessibility stuff, you got the video card turned off anyway. You're just using the onboard graphics.
Okay. So that in there. Now this guy. No. I think the video card has to come next. So this is the Radeon 560, which does not have a lot of grunt, unfortunately. But you said that you looked up some benchmarks for Final Cut, and it's great for Final Cut.
Yeah.
So
it will do the job.
It'll do the job. We originally had a 1050 Ti, which would have been awesome, because I love that card. But apparently with Mojave, am I saying that right?
Yes, but unfortunately, you're going to say something which is 1 week outdated.
Oh.
Guess what they did this week?
Really? Because I was asking some guys, I'm like, no, it's never going to happen.
Well, they've announced that they're going to do it. They haven't done it.
That's cool. That's cool.
So they're not available right now. So this will do me fine.
So basically, the High Sierra NVIDIA had drivers for and was supporting it. So you could just download drivers right off the website, install them without having to go through a crazy installation process. But with Mojave, they didn't work. So we went to this. But, oh well.
Yeah, by the time they come out with them, it'll be the next Macross anyways, this summer.
So it won't really matter too much.
Yeah, because the next development comes out in a month and a half, and I got to be on that to test it beforehand.
Comes with a low profile bracket.
That will be the test of your system to see how Hackintosh compliant it is when I go to the developer version of the next DOS.
Swish.
Oh, nobody from Apple is watching this.
So we're going to put this in first because it has to kind of angle in there, and then
Okay.
I'll put that in there, and yeah.
You do the bridge card at the same time, or you put that on afterwards?
I forgot for the classic. You can do that afterwards in the new one, but you might have to do that at the kind of the same time for this one. But that's not yours.
That's not mine?
It's not yours. No, yours is this one.
That was sitting right there. Oh, that was just to show the people. I have to use my old one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ooh, this is a first generation Lee heat riser.
Is it slower?
No. Says the guy who said that a 560 is.
Yeah, but this is cool, kind of chocolate color.
It is
mine,
really cool.
Mine is kind of black and tapey.
Yeah. But the problem is...
Mine looks like I taped it up because I probably
that's
taped
not
it up.
mine.
I see.
So I can't give it to you.
I see. You got any brown spray paint I can use?
To match your fan?
Yeah, I want it to look like this one. This one looks cool. Mine looks old fogey.
Yeah, it does kind of look old, but what are you going to do? Nothing, because I'm completely out of risers. Gently angling it in so we don't scratch your beautiful aluminium, depending on where you are in the world. This one might be, I might have to use a hex for this later. Instead of going and finding the hex in the key, I'll put that in later. One is going to be enough for right now. Probably ever, but...
Because probably it's going to be there forever because you're going to forget to come back and put that screw in for me.
Yeah, more than likely.
It's okay. I got my SSDs dangling from 1 or 2 screws.
It'll be twinsies.
They're not spinning. I figure it's okay. Back in the day, that'd have been a problem.
Look at that. Tons of room. Tons of room. After it boots, I'm going to use the gray mounting tape. Okay. One strip right there, one strip right there.
And how does that mount in?
With that mounting tape.
No, I see.
Yeah.
Because see, you have those screw holes are for the drive mount, but
Yeah, it's for the drive bracket.
Okay, there isn't on the other side. There's no screw holes for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now my the guy that has built one of these is probably telling me all the stuff I'm doing wrong because I just realized something I did wrong. I forgot to put the drive bracket back in.
You gotta have that out to do it.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. But to be fair, I didn't claim I knew how to build in one of these. Not that that's an excuse. Yeah. Like I said, there were some improvements with the new one. Quality of life improvements.
Once it's in there, you don't notice. Let's get this messed up.
Yeah, you gotta go with this.
Did it go here?
Yeah. Oh no, you can angle it in this way. You just gotta stick it to the drive hole. This lot.
I don't know how to do that. I always mess that up. When I get this off, this is like a 5-minute puzzle challenge for me to figure out how to get it back on there.
There we go. The riser's kind of in the way, but there we go. Slide that over. Do you watch the video on how to do it? Because I don't remember how to do it other than just seeing it go together again.
No, I play with it kind of like, Rubik's Cube until it goes.
It is a Rubik's Cube.
I don't drop it down in there often, but I have done it.
And it gets angled in there where you can never get it out again.
Then I call Josh.
Okay.
Come fix my computer.
Now we're back on track. Mostly back on track. Okay. And I'm going to put this in here. Again. That's the HD Plex 200 in a 160 body. The 200 will be the same body, but it will have 200 labeled on it. And I guess to even think about plugging this in, I have to move it back over. Now here's the real question. Is this going to work, or do I have to add more screws? That might be a feature I put in the S4M, the new S4M.
Yeah, is that going to clear that power supply?
It doesn't look like it. No. So let me go fix this. See, it's good that you were here.
So how are we going to fix this?
I'm going to...
For those who can't see from the camera, we're sliding the drive mount back over and it won't clear the power supply.
So for the new S4M, there's extra set of mounting holes. So depending on where your configuration, you can mount the Sky Bracket Duo different places, but there's not any on the S4M-C. The cleanest thing to do would be simply to just tap this bracket rather than tap this beautiful chassis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark those two holes. I'm going to drill them out on the drill press, then tap them for M3, not 6. Well, no, that would be confusing for you. As long as you keep them separate, I think M3 would be better for this application. Is that cool?
Okay.
And then we'll screw them down, and we'll be back on track.
Okay.
Some assembly required. So I'm gonna get my silver Sharpie. I want that nice and tight. Yeah, you hold it up and I'll pull it back. There, perfect. That's going to be good.
You take all this apart again?
I do. Yeah, that's the plan. Derp.
He really did design this. It's been a while.
Oops. Yeah, I might be able to put the power supply in front, but that has other challenges. There's the nuts and studs that hold the front bezel to the chassis, and those are a pain to get out. And I have to take off the entire bezel, take those out, get the power supply rotated in there, and then we have all this extra space. So this is going to be fast to do.
You're going to be drilling this, so I'm going to take my drives out so they don't get...
Oh, no, they'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, those will be fine. I never drill anything with slots or anything like that, but it's a drill press. So what's going to do is when it goes in, this is steel. It's going to wire up a nice strand of steel.
Okay.
So it's not going to get like
it's
flakes.
Not going to pollute my
It's not going to get flakes
SSDs.
or anything anywhere. No. So you'll be fine there. This is a very, other than the fact that I've embarrassed you in front of everybody.
I don't see anybody. I just see a monitor over there.
Right.
As far as I know, we're here by ourselves.
Okay. All right.
You can hurt this one. Don't hurt that one.
So don't drill here. Drill through there. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I can restore that from Windows, but I prefer not to.
See if they have any questions you can answer.
Yes, hey Philly, I run Windows on my Mac as well. The only Mac I actually have right now, I got rid of everything else, is a late 2013 MacBook Pro. I refused to buy one of the later MacBooks because I hate, like so many people, I hate the keyboard. And I also don't really like that the trackpad is so big it takes up the whole bottom half of the computer just about. So I'm hoping they're going to remedy that, but I doubt that they will. The Mac Mini is a good computer, Q. I've owned a couple of those, and I actually consider doing that as a separate issue instead of having it all in one, but I'd like to see if I could have it all in one computer first. Yes, that is the new HD Plex 200. It's just not in that case, Novak. It's in the previous case because the new case for it wasn't ready. At least that's what Josh assures me. It's a 200 watt. Jim, what are you looking for in Linux? I see that Tyler was recommending Pop! OS, Manjaro, and Ubuntu. Yeah, this one is going to be Windows and Hackintosh, but as I was saying earlier in the broadcast, I run many different flavors of Linux, and I keep changing those out. I have several too that are in virtual machines, but the one I use most often because I work with the visually impaired is Zorin, because Zorin has really good tools right out of the box for people with low vision. It's got great mouse cursors and a really good magnifier. It's really the same magnifier as the others, but they've tweaked it a little bit so it's sharper. Ubuntu is solid, and there's a lot of different distros that are based on Ubuntu that are also solid. Okay, he's back. We'll see if it works.
I might have used the wrong drill bit, which is fine. I used a tighter one. No, this is going to work. As usual, it took longer for me to find the stuff I needed than it did to do the...
You're a die and tool maker here. Are you in a union?
No, this. The next one. Oops, sorry.
Yep. So they're gonna. This is gonna be mounted midships now. Sitting over the.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to bet we could take this out again before we're done?
Our track record has not been too good. You can blame it that I'm here. I'm messing you up. You know, you're always nervous in front of your old man.
But they know that I mess up all the time when you're not here, too.
Yeah, but I could be watching. I sometimes do.
True.
But you happen to run your Monday broadcast right during the heavy support time for me, so it's not all that often.
Heavy support?
Yeah, that's where I get a lot of people calling.
Oh.
To the 5 o'clock hour, 4, 5. They come home from work and they've had a bad day and they couldn't get that to work and this to work at work.
So now it's your fault.
No, they're looking for solutions.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's not usually the life of tech support.
Well, I didn't sell it to them, so it's not my fault. But unlike you, most of my clientele is in North America, so I don't get calls all hours. Well, I do. They call late because they don't know, or text late asking for support. I notice you have a lot of folks calling in from Europe and from Asia.
Yeah, it's really cool
Oceania.
how crazy my community as far as worldwide. I ship to 77 countries worldwide. And who knows how many people watch the stream from different parts of the world. It's really cool how spread out it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Australians, Aussies, those are my best customers.
Oh, that's good. You got your start over in that part of the world. I was a missionary, or lay missionary in New Guinea, Solomon Islands, and all through the South Pacific, developing programs for the blind and cataract camps and so forth, and all the different islands. And that's where Josh's mother and I got married. She came over and we were married out there, and that's where he got started.
That's a little racy for this stream, don't you think?
Okay, well, you know, I didn't get any details.
Hey, Rod, good to see you, man. How's the tractor collection coming? Add any new ones? Hey, Nori, thanks again for another donation. Nori asks, what's the most impressive thing that I have created? I don't think I've done anything yet. I'm trying.
What's the name of the one with the hardwood that you did? I thought that was your best.
Remiel? The one with the purple heart?
Yeah, the one that was made out of concrete wood.
Yeah. Is that because you had to build a building out of that once?
Yeah. In Africa, we built schools, and we had to use what they called there was a kume, which you're calling
Purple heart?
Purple heart here in America, but it's the same wood. I can tell by looking at it. They'd go get it, and then we'd take like 2 people to nail it or screw stuff into it for the building truss work for a school. And one time we went clear across the country to get it because it didn't have it. You had to go up onto the savannah. We were down in the rainforest area. You had to climb a plateau, and you're on the open area where there's grasslands everywhere. And having been in the rainforest for 2.5 years straight, we get up and we can see in every direction. And we're looking around. We get out our cameras we haven't used but since the first day we got in Africa 2.5 years ago, and we're taking pictures. Of course, we never get to see the pictures till we get back home a year later, and all we got is pictures of grass. Because we couldn't believe the fact that there was an horizon. You know, you could see an horizon.
I think we're like grass.
Yeah, we travel for another 1.5 days. We get to the place where the lumber yard is, and we buy our lumber, and we come back, and there was a huge rainstorm on the way back. And as we're coming down off the plateau, one of the bridges is out, and all the cars are, I've shown you pictures of that, where the trucks and all, they're off on the side of the road. And Jerry and I, he was my partner, we had to build a bridge out of our wood that we were going to use for the school. We ended up building a bridge across with it, and we were just going to take it apart and get it back on our truck, our Land Cruiser, and get out of there. But as soon as we got up and we got across, everybody else starts coming across.
Thank you.
You know, 12-ton trucks full of stuff.
I bet it didn't hurt the wood, though, at all.
Oh, no, not a bit. So it was a 6-day fiasco. Much worse than, you know, having to take the drive out 3 times. It looks like it's there. Yeah. Are these the headers for the drives right here? Okay.
Almost professional.
Ta-da.
Thank you, Alex, for the donation. Appreciate it. Rod says that he hopes to add more tractors to his stable soon. He's reworking on his 8N right now.
Okay.
So, yeah. Rod's my buddy up in
What kind of plug goes into this?
Washington
Here, this right here, where he's not put in from my power, that looks like what it used to be. You plug your keyboard into back in my day.
Except it had 12
they had more poles on it for that, but it was the same basic idea.
That's a G16 connector, which you might have seen on CB radios.
Yeah, I guess it looks awful familiar. I don't know where I've seen it, but it looks awful familiar.
See you, Cirrus.
Well.
Okay.
I'm going to plug her up.
No, we got more work to do.
Oh.
Yeah, we're just taking a break. We're laying down the job. I was laying down the job. You were telling stories. Now, I only have one there, so don't strip it when you go to put it back in if you need to. Alright, this is the HD Plex 160. Well, no, it's the Dynamo Mini Compact 360, which is the same thing. 160. It's a Dynamo Mini 160.
So one of them were asking about the HD Plex, and they were asking is it 200, and I thought they were referring to the power supply. When I said yes, that's 200. Yep. But if they're referring to this thing, then I botched them up.
Yeah, this is the HD Plex 200. Oh man, look at that. That's going to be solid once we get a little bit of mounting tape on it. I mean, it's already
pretty good as it is, yeah.
And this is the compact Dynamo 160, which I can never remember because the name changed 3 times, and I was with Craig's my friend, so we're always talking about stuff. So I know the code name, the original name it released by, and now its final name. So I never can remember it straight, which is no good for him because I'd like to, do a little better job marketing it for him. And we need this guy. Oh.
You didn't plug a little cord in that side to get it over to there, did you?
Well, I should be able to.
Oh, okay. I see it. It's so dark down there, I didn't see it.
So I did some homework on accident. So usually this comes with a plug like this.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to use this extension cable, and the reason is you can swap between different kinds of power supplies. But I already replaced it with this kind of plug, so this will just plug in neatly right there.
It came that way.
And we didn't need this, but usually you would need that. So not to confuse people by me just plugging that straight in, I just replaced the plug on that earlier. I forgot about that. But that's nice and neat.
It's nice of you to have done the legwork beforehand.
Yes. which rarely ever happens. You know, people talk about TV shows is all prep, you know, to make it look good on camera. But see,
as you see, we did a lot of that.
Exactly. This we're not using. This we're not going to use.
It's just about an hour before we started. He texted me, "Hey, you want to do it tonight?"
Yeah, yeah. And I luckily had 2 things. This would have been, you know, an extra 20 minutes of me fiddling around in the garage, but luckily I was able to pirate that from another build. So, Tyler says that I was prepared for once. No, it was an accident. It was just an accident. I didn't mean to prepare. And I'm sure there's still something else that we're going to have to take the whole thing apart for. Okay, right now I need the cable that goes to this to the motherboard. And I had that earlier today when I was cleaning up. And I was like, what is this for? I can throw this out, right? So I was like, no, I shouldn't throw this out because...
Here's the garbage can.
Yeah, it's not enough.
There's a SATA cable. You need that?
I almost threw it out. But then I remembered that I was not supposed to throw it out. But I didn't know what it was for. That's the point of the story. I was like, I feel like I shouldn't throw this out.
I agree with S Hollow or SR Hollow. It says it's missing the bottle opener.
And a fishing rod.
Well, I don't want the fishing rod with it, but a bottle opener would be really handy. Mount it right here on the side, you know. It says Coca-Cola on it, but you don't have to use it for Coke.
Yeah, I had to retire my old hat that had my bottle opener built into it. But it's still pretty redneck. It's a Dana Spicer hat. I mean, that's about as redneck as you can get. Rednecks wish that they had my Dana Spicer cap. Rod. Aren't you jealous of my cap?
I once ate a yogurt in my computer room in my office, and I still had the spoon there, and that's good for opening bottles.
What?
Still there. You never opened up a bottle with a spoon? Or a knife or a fork?
And I've never done that.
Put it like that and make a lever. Off it goes.
I can't say I've ever done that. This is for the GPU.
Necessity is a mother of invention, they say.
Here's the SATA one. We are going to need that SATA one.
The one I threw out? The one you told me to throw out?
No, a different SATA one that I almost threw out.
This one that I was using, this short little one from Dell.
No, that's SATA data. I meant the SATA power.
No.
Yeah. Which again, it's like, why do I have these extra ones? I don't recall having an extra HD Plex, but I did. It was buried under a mountain.
I wouldn't even know that. Remember, the last motherboard I worked on was ESA.
ESA?
Do you even know what ESA is?
No. ESA?
I think it's for ESA. Instructional data. Yeah.
Oh, ISA?
ISA, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
ISA.
Like ISA slots instead of...
It was ESA.
I didn't know that. I always
That's
thought
how they said it.
That's cool.
For instructional data, something or other.
They were trying to sound cool like Lisa.
But we no longer... I just got a build done, and like 2 months later, that was passe technology, but that's what you had for a long time. It was there, it was working. You don't mess with something that was working back then.
Someone said I should paint it camo, and somebody else said it'd be a bad idea because I would never be able to find it again. Which sounds about right, as it already is. Ooh, we're almost out of battery. So goodbye.
I'll come back now. Here?
Yeah, I gotta put my other battery in when this one dies out.
Okay.
But I forgot to hit record, so I didn't record all this. So it will be on later on YouTube, but we won't have that glorious 4K.
Why, is it recording in the lower? If you don't hit record, it still records?
Yeah, on the computer.
Oh.
I gotta post this spam message because it was good. There you go. Alright, we're almost there, but now I need some cool looking SATA cables. I'm gonna see if I can find 2 really short ones in my box of... That's blue though. We'll use that if we can't find something black.
Yeah, little 3-inch black ones or 2-inch black ones?
I had some, but I keep using them over the years. Oh, you are amazing. It's Rod. Robin.
I thought he was talking about me, but it's his
Sorry,
wife
Dad.
out there. Yeah.
Sorry. This is a big bucket of SATA cables.
There's probably one in there.
Okay. I have this gloriously long one
Nope.
that I'm never going to use, but
I like
it
my
looks
blue
cool.
one.
We're not going to use these probably, but as a backup.
This is the best thing that a phone is good for, a flashlight. Put in a dishwasher yesterday, and let me tell you, this thing came in very handy.
It survived being dishwashered? Did you record the inside of a dishwasher with your phone? That'd be a good phone commercial, though, for, like, the new...
Nobody uses a real flashlight anymore. We just whip out our phones. They're all real long ones.
Yeah. I only have a couple left if I have any. One? Now, I actually threw out a box twice as big of this stuff. And this is what I purged down to.
Yeah, remember when I cleaned out my stuff and I brought a whole bunch of stuff over to you and you just probably threw it out?
I actually rated a bunch of, because here's some interesting old things. Interesting old Mac stuff.
Old serial cables. SCSI cables. There's a technology that deserved to die.
Sorry. No. Well, we can color code them, I guess. Your Linux drive can be blue.
That's okay. It was blue before.
Bummer.
They were both blue before. One was sky blue and one was robin egg blue. Foxconn.
I'm making Rod a mod. Rod mod, because he is a moderator. Modder. Now he's a moderator.
Not you.
It's the other way.
Is it? I want to try 3 times and then I just flip
Yeah, you
it.
can do up, down, then up again, and then it will go in.
I don't know which of those
First
letters
time,
to put.
every time.
This one went in first time, and it got me cocky.
Trash.
This is trash.
Yeah.
You say that, then look what you just had to go through.
Yeah, but I get them with motherboard boxes now, so we're gonna put this one. Luckily, you don't have to look up anymore. You used to have to look up and see what the speeds were on all those, but now they're all fast. Actually, they're all slow because SATA is slow. SATA is slow now. They're all slow.
I'm mostly retired, so that's okay.
You don't think 400 megabytes a second is going to cut it?
I think it'll be okay. Am I waiting on a computer when it says compiling?
No, I did it. Okay, we have power to the CPU, power going to the AC/DC, power going out to our fancy plug, SATA power, which is mostly... No, SATA power is plugged in, but the SATA cable, kind of not so much. There we go. RAM. Okay, so now we can plug it in and see if anything blows up.
See if it smokes.
Yeah. I need to find the cable though for that. I hope I have one made up, because if not, then this is where we call it for today. Because that's a special plug, needs a special cable. Oh wait, I did make one, didn't I? I made one on accident. Or I hope it's the right one. It's black, unfortunately. I never use black for cables because...
Got the flashlight again.
Oh, man. It's a sleeved black cable. Where did it go? Vix, you mixed all of it. You missed all of it, buddy. Just all of it. Every minute.
Yes, he's always been like this.
But have I gotten worse?
Yes, he gets it from his mother.
But have I gotten worse? That's the thing. It's probably just plugged in somewhere. It's sleeved in this stuff, if you see it anywhere. Oh, it's right here. That's why you didn't see it. It's like right here, in plain sight. Oh, this isn't the right one. Bummer. So, that's that. I have to go make cable, and that's gonna take like 30 minutes.
Oh, you don't have it? I thought
No.
you said that was that.
No. That's what I thought I had, but it's not the right thing.
In part 2, we plug it in. In part 3, we turn it into a hackintosh. Maybe that part's off camera.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing. I could. No. That...
I'd rather wait. And not have it, you know.
I could mad scientist it.
It's, you know, we just went through that. We're in Holy Week where there's no smoking this week. So that includes computers.
What about magic blue smoke?
No.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Besides, it's already been an hour and then some. So,
thank you very much for having me here. I've enjoyed it.
Good. I think the people actually enjoyed you too. Yeah. You might.
That's surprising.
You might have to take over for me, so I can be behind the camera, which would not be so bad.
In today's class, we'll be covering narrator and Jaws.
So this is an S4M-C. We put an i3-8100, 16 gigabytes of DDR4, lots of drives, one for Linux, one for Mac OS, Mac OS, Mojave, and one for Windows 10. It's a brickless build with an RX 560. Is that what we put in there? Yeah, an RX 560, a low profile one, using the HDPlex 200, which is not out yet, but will be soon, and the Dynamo Mini 160 for a power. And we're using the ASRock Fatality Z370i gaming motherboard, which has Thunderbolt 3. That's the reason that we got it. Tumor, thank you for the donation.
It's there physically. We'll see if it's there. If it's recognized.
Yeah. I mean,
in any of those 3 operating systems.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, but it's there.
They'll have a Thunderbolt 3 monitor, so that'd be really handy, you know.
hopefully it has actual Intel drivers for it too, and not some wonky third-party drivers, but we'll see. Yeah, a 2400G would be sweet if you can run Mojave on it, but that's way above me, so somebody else would have to help that out. But I do have one coming for my build. So, anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Sorry I couldn't let you down. I let you down and you didn't see any blue smoke today, but it is what it is, because making that cable would take too long, and I have a lot more cleaning to do before the week ends. So, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the super chat
Bye now.
Which I can't see in this new way to do it, but you guys, really, I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much.
Well, when you were wanting a monitor box, that's the monitor that went away, so now you can't see?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's a problem. All right, see you guys. Peace.